I serve cold with the Wolves and the Hawks, never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Rock and Big Z.
White Sox, White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, the home of the AL Central Division, Chicago White Sox. This is your TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 64 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your official TCSF shirts now.
Go get them.
As always, I am Big Z, and I'm here with my boy, E-Rock. What up, E?
What's up, Z? Congratulations to your team.
Thank you.
One thing that you forgot to put in that intro.
Thanks, Cubs.
Because that's how you guys got it done.
Oh, man.
Hey, listen. The Cubs gave you the blueprint for that, and I think we both acknowledge that. So congratulations to your AL Central Division champion White Sox, the first time since 2008. So, you know, I give it to you.
Hey, thank you, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show. If you're a first-timer or a long-timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review and 5 stars, please, on your listening app of choice. And don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Head on over there, and you can be a subscriber for as low as 99 cents a month. Z, I'm going to ask you, I think I already know, but how was your week, sir?
My week was amazing because the White Sox are AL Division champs.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and I had a pretty good bowling week. I'm starting to get over the yips. I had the yips for about a month and a half. I couldn't get, I usually bowl 160, 140 in that range, and I had the yips, and I was bowling under 100, just 100. So I bowled a 135, so I think I'm getting back to my normal self, and it's getting that getting past that mental block because of the surgery, and I feel like I'm gonna re-injure myself. So I think I'm getting over that now that I'm able to trust my body, and I'm not as sore the next day. So other than that, I mean, teaching's been a breeze this week. We played dodgeball. So yeah. So within
dive and duck, you're dodging.
Well, they better learn now.
Well, I'll tell you what, your 135 you did this week was better than the 0 I did this week, so congratulations on that.
How was your week, man?
Look, we telling you guys last week that we were worried about having some positive COVID tests. I've never tested positive, but we did have a positive test in the house, so we actually have been stuck here not playing softball, and it is driving me nuts. We're getting ready to playoff time for the 12U team that I coach, so hopefully within the next couple of days we'll be able to get back out there and do our thing. Bears football, end of the Cubs season, and White Sox winning the division is a highlight for me as a friend of yours, who I know you're such a huge White Sox fan. I've been following them this season specifically. For me, like I said, I take a lot of joy for my friends having a good team and enjoying themselves. So
right, likewise. I mean, that's always been a big thing for me, that Chicago over everybody.
Absolutely.
If my team isn't doing it, it makes no difference to me to cheer for my guys that have.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all family, man. It's all love. But check it out. It is football season. That's right. Fall is here. And I know there's some people out there looking for a new gig. Let me tell you guys about a great opportunity with our friends over at ACSI. With over 50 expert technicians in the Chicagoland area, ACSI offers a one-stop shop for telecom wiring. Whether residential cable installation, fiber to the home, or commercial structured cable wiring, ACSI is a proud partner of Comcast and RCN. Let me tell you about the most impressive thing about ACSI. During these hard times, the ACSI crew did their thing during the COVID-19 pandemic, and ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year award. The best part is that ACSI is growing bigger and better than ever. ACSI is now hiring for field sales technicians and project managers. Check out acsi.tech. That's acsi.tech and click on careers to apply today.
Go get you a job.
That's right. This week, the Chicago White Sox, again, are AL Central champs. We're going to talk about that. Big John shows some love for his former catchers. The Bulls making some moves and picking up some players. Some college football talk, and as always, stirring the pot and more. But first, this is the Big Three with Big Z.
Thanks, E-Rock. I'm Big Z, and you're not.
No, I'm not.
Oh, no. For today's stories, I got some good ones for you. And
Uh-oh.
an oldie but a goodie, another resident spotted a zebra.
That animal in the wild that looks like a horse, it has black and white stripes. Yeah, do me a favor, from now on, please, it's not zebra, okay? It's zebra.
Oh, no.
This time in Maryland County. There was one loose this week after residents spotted the 3 zebras last week. Chris Horrell told Fox News 5 DC that he spotted a zebra on Croom Road in their upper Marlboro area. They must be smokers. Of Prince George County, Maryland, which is 10 minutes away from where he lives. Earlier this month, Prince George County Animal Control Chief Rodney Taylor said that 3 zebras have been on the loose for several days after escaping from a private farm. Last week, Upper Marlboro resident Davon Bennett spotted 3 zebras while this is just getting weird. While he was taking out the trash, and neighbor Layla Curling saw the zebras behind her house. Animal control officials said 5 zebras in total that escaped from a herd of 31 others on that same farm, according to Fox 5 and the Washington Post.
Okay,
what is going on with the zebras?
I have a question, sir. Why is there a farm in Maryland that has 31 zebras?
It's zebra.
What?
Zebras.
Okay, zebra, whatever you want to. Why is there a farm in the United States in Maryland that has 31 zebras? What is going on over there?
Zebras are native to Africa and warm weather. Why are they in the upper East Coast?
Apparently they're native to Maryland as well. I don't know what the hell's going on up there, but yeah, look, I mean, throw a saddle on and see what happens. I don't know. Maybe a zebra will change its stripes.
It's zebra.
Jesus. Just like that cheap ass gum. Story number 2, and I know you're going to love this one. A cancer survivor dies after a beer keg explodes at his 43rd birthday party.
What?
Yes, a Brazilian man in his own birthday party last week dies after a beer keg exploded while he was trying to fix it. The tragedy occurred the evening of September 17th after Gilson do Nascimento, 43, yeah, I got it right this time, rented the booze barrel for his birthday bash in Campo Bom in the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul. Unfortunately, the beer wouldn't come out of the tap properly, so the locksmith shop owner decided to repair it himself. There was a problem, said Nascimento's niece, who opted to remain anonymous. You just said you're her niece.
Right.
Was at the soiree along with the man's wife, sister, and 15-year-old son. She said only foam was coming out of the device. My uncle called them, the rental company, and they gave him instructions on how to start fixing it until they arrived, she added. Tragedy struck, however, when the brew dispensing device blew up, causing metal shards to hit Nascimento in the head. The victim's niece said the family is very shaken by the freak accident. Nascimento's passing is perhaps even more tragic that 6 years prior, the family man had battled cancer, which forced him to spend almost 2 months in the ICU. Police are investigating the witness at the scene at the time of the incident, who added they're treating unfortunate. They're just going to say it's accidental. It's just crazy, bro.
Dude, death by beer. I mean, I guess if there's one way to go, that would be it. I mean,
That's got to be on that show, 1,000 Ways to Die.
seriously, I'll stick to my case of Coors. Thank you very much. No.
Safe with the silver bullets.
Seriously though, like how often? I mean, like as an adult, I mean, this guy was a couple years older than us. I mean, like, but how often as an adult do you go get a keg? You know what I mean? Get some cooler, get a cooler and some ice. I'm like, I'm not getting a keg. Isn't that? I don't know.
Go
Maybe
old
that's
school,
a
man.
Brazilian thing, but I guess you won't have no more kegs. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Story number 3. This is for you as well because you're a collector.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're like that dude in the Marvel movies. You're the collector. You're Benicio del Toro.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. All right. New Pokemon Oreos are giving fans something to get excited about and providing collectors with a new avenue potentially to rake in thousands of dollars. Launched earlier this month, the new Oreo X Pokemon collaboration features the brand's traditional sandwich cookies, and this time embezzled with emblazoned. God, that was close. With one of 16 Pokemons or pocket monsters for the uninitiated. Each pack includes a random selection of cookies that feature classic characters like the Pikachu and the Charmander, but there are also one extremely rare Pokemon, the mythical Mew. I don't know. It's probably a cat. And as long as been the case with the rare Pokemon cards, the rarest Pokemon cookie of all has become a hot commodity. These things are selling for like $15,000.
Yup, and how much is the milk that goes with it? Because that's the only way I'm buying. For real, like what is going on here? I'll tell you what, over the summer, my wife's aunt found her Lady Gaga version of Oreo cookies, and it was like vanilla cookie with like pink cream or whatever it is. I mean, they were good, but it's one of those things like I feel like it's a money grab just like everyone else. Like Barbie did, their special edition version of this, that, or whatever. So I mean, like, look, Oreo has been on the forefront of trying to make these limited edition, special edition cookies. So good for them. But Pokemon cookie, let me tell you something. When I first heard Pokemon, I thought it was like a Jamaican porno. And there it is.
There's the dad joke. And order is restored as the dad takes over with the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right, y'all, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yeah.
This is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Z, what's going on at the house that Jordan built and the Chicago Bulls?
The Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have been one of the most active teams this offseason, continuing to build a playoff roster. While they have acquired a few players, the Bulls also ensured that they continue to develop their young prospects and keep them around. Earlier this week, Chicago exercised their fourth-year option on guard Kobe White and their third-year option on forward Patrick the Paul Williams. The result in both players being on a contract with the team through the 22 and 23 season. Both Williams and White are among the most intriguing prospects in the NBA and should have major roles with the Bulls this season. A report from Shams Charania of The Athletic and Stadium on Twitter on September 24th notes that Patrick Williams will be out 4 to 6 weeks at least with a left ankle sprain. This is an unfortunate time for both Williams and the Bulls too, given that the team is less than 1 week away from starting training camp.
You know, it's unfortunate that we see that Williams is injured right now, but I am glad that they definitely secured their future by making sure they lock up these two players. I mean, when you look at all the players that the Bulls have added in the last, couple months, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, all these players that they've added to strengthen their team, to change the feel of the team, they also have to consider the fact that they do need to make sure that they take care of these young guys. So I am glad that they brought back and make sure that they lock up these two players that they've drafted in the last two years. And look, I mean, I think we've talked about it before, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this current roster, because I don't think we've been this excited for a Bulls season for a long time.
No, this is going to be just kind of like like the Cubs and the White Sox. You're starting to see the plan being laid out in front of you, and you're like, oh, I get it now.
Right.
So the Bulls are going to be excited. Yeah, the Bulls are going to be excited.
I know Mike Logic is excited because his brother from the Lakers is now the Bulls. So, I mean, I think that's his most exciting thing about it. Oh, my God. Like I said, I think that, the East is definitely open right now. We still don't know with all the stuff that's going on with the Nets. The Heat are definitely going to be a player, and also the Celtics. So, I mean, it'll be definitely interesting to see what's going on with that East division.
I mean, now again, the universe is back on track now that we're making fun of Mike Logic for his love of the Ball family. All right, Eve, what's going on with the Chicago Bears?
The Chicago Bears got their asses handed to them in Justin Fields' very first start. We saw some great signs of life from the defensive front. They kind of carried over what they did last week, and the front got 5 total sacks on Baker Mayfield, including a sack by both Quinn and Mack in the first quarter. Unfortunately, the offense was absolutely horrendous, especially the offensive line, giving up a total of 9 sacks. That's 9 times, just like Ferris Bueller, 9 times.
9.
Justin Fields sustained most of the most sacks of any quarterback in his starting debut since Greg McElroy in 2012 with the New York Jets. That's a guy that no one knows. I had to Google that guy. He had something like 11 total games ever. So I mean, that's how bad this was. And Matt Nagy actually had a few things to say about today's performance in the post-game interview.
This is not how we wanted it to go. You almost can't even make it up. It's that bad.
A lot of things that we questioned was his ability to lead this team now that you have Justin Fields on the team. And he did go on to talk about his role in the game plan.
It starts with me. It ends with me. And it's as simple as that. I appreciate the fight from our defense. I think that they fought their tails off the entire game. They kept us in it. As much as we were struggling, they kept us in it against a good football team. And I also want to credit Cleveland. Coach Stefanski does a great job. Their coaches do a great job. Their players are, a lot of good players on that team.
So, look, I mean, we know what Baker Mayfield is. We saw him for the last couple of years. One of the things that I talked about last week was the offensive weapons, the running game that this team has. They're very good tight ends. And the fact, like we said, we didn't know last week, but Odell Beckham came back today, and he had a major role in the game.
He did have a major role in the game. But let's just be honest, the offense didn't do their job. And, again, it falls on Nagy's lap. And guess what? You've already got a hot seat, and now you got weight on your lap. I mean, you're getting it from both sides.
He does not. Let me tell you something. Both him and Pace they don't act like they have a hot seat. You know, the way that they have developed the team and the coach the team, I feel like they're safe, at least for this season, because I think the excuse is going to be Justin Fields. And Matt Nagy also did have something to say about Justin Fields' first start in the NFL.
In the end, there was no rhythm. You know that they're going to present different looks to a rookie quarterback and do different things. And again, I credit them for that. But I think that Justin handled everything really well. I think he did a really good job of staying calm and composed with the sacks that he took. He never once got frustrated or angry. I thought he did. I mean, that's tough in that situation, and I'm proud of him for that.
Justin Fields, we knew that he was going to be the consummate professional coming into the NFL. He's had a lot of attention on him since high school. But, you know, like we said in the postgame show, you have to catch up to the game, and it seems like that offensive line did not do him any favors to give him enough time to really do what he needed to do.
No, I mean, he's like, the offense, you know, didn't have rhythm. Dude, you have no rhythm. He has no rhythm.
Well, they couldn't get into that rhythm, you know, and that's the problem.
That's his job, is to get the offense into rhythm.
Right, exactly.
You have your scripted plays, and then you go on the next 3 quarters and make adjustments.
Well, I mean, they started the game by running, taking the ball down the field. They got a field goal, and then they just really didn't do much after that. But listen, before we get everyone all hot and bothered about this Bears game, for the rest of our Bears post-game show and our preview of next week's game against the Lions, check out our Bears post-game show live on Facebook after every Bears Sunday game, and also on our podcast page every Monday. So you'll be hearing this Tuesday morning. Go back to the show we released Monday and check out the rest of our Bears analysis.
Yes. All right, E, let's move on to the collegiate slate. What's up with the Golden Domers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish played the best football of any team, pro or collegiate, in Chicago this season. They beat up on the Wisconsin Badgers on the lakefront at Soldier Field. Final score was 41-13. And what happened is that they were actually struggling against Wisconsin early on in the game. Wisconsin had not given up any offensive points in the first half all season. Notre Dame looked like they were actually going to be in some trouble, but they finally pulled it out there, and Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly got his 105th win, which puts him at the all-time list of wins. He went ahead of the legendary Newt Rockne. He went ahead of the legendary Newt Rockne, and there's definitely something missing with his tenure with Notre Dame. A lot of fans are talking about the fact that he's been there for so long. He has all the wins, yes, but there is something missing.
Exactly where I sit in Notre Dame history. The coach that won more games that hasn't won a national championship.
So that's always been the knock about Brian Kelly. He's made it to the title game a couple times, but he keeps running into these really hard teams. And, the fans always clamor about the fact that they haven't won the title. But, considering that the fact that they were very irrelevant prior to his arrival,
right,
and the fact that he's got to compete with these gigantic Southern schools like Clemson and Alabama, who he keeps running into. And, they've definitely gotten better, with him in that position than, based on what they was there when he first got there. You look at Charlie Weiss, who really didn't do nothing, and they thought he was going to be the savior. But yeah, I mean, Brian Kelly did talk a little bit more about his lack of winning a championship.
Where I feel like we've done is we've played consistent football. We brought Notre Dame football back to its relevance of, competing for championships. And, each year, you raise the bar, and you continue to build towards that goal of winning a national championship.
So, in the studio here, I have several glasses from all the times that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish has won a championship. And unfortunately, the last one I want to say is like 1988 with Lou Holtz. Now, I want to say I actually heard an interview prior to the game where he talked about some of the legendary coaches, Newt Rockne, and all of his championships, Lou Holtz and all of his championships. And, everyone, again, I give this guy a ton of respect for it, considering the fact that he's had a lot of trials and tribulations, him being so angry earlier in his career, coming back and figuring out a way to calm down. And, And look, you're not going to get the very best players. There was a little bit of a scandal a couple years ago where they had to vacate some wins. But, you know, one of the things that he did say was that those games still happened. You know what I mean? Like, even if you vacate the wins, the memories are still there. The scores happen. The games happen. So I don't put a lot of relevance into, like, vacating wins. I don't care. Reggie Bush has a good case about it now. But, look, I mean, I am proud to be a Notre Dame fan and see what this man has accomplished over these years.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Atlanta Braves where, you know, Bobby Cox, you know, he was always getting up to the, you know, to the NL championship and then to the World Series and not winning. But at the end of the day, you have a winning tradition, you have a winning culture, you have a winning coach.
Right.
Everybody would sell their mama's left shoes, you know, for that kind of culture. I mean, the Cubs couldn't do it, couldn't get over the hump in 84 and then in 98 and then and then you get it in 16. I mean, what wouldn't you give up just to be relevant for 10 years of winning Cubs baseball? Winning White Sox baseball. Yes, of course you would give it up.
I think the phrase is always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and that's going to be the case with Brian Kelly. And unfortunately, honestly, like, as much as I love the Irish, I don't see a scenario where they actually are able to win a national championship unless there's some kind of like catastrophic injury to one of these, you know, great players in one of these big SEC schools. And unfortunately, that's just what it is, because these kids just go to whatever team that they think is going to get them the best chance of getting drafted and getting drafted the highest, and that's just what it is, man.
It's a business. It's a business.
So, Z, what's going on with Chicago's Big Ten team?
Go Cats. The Northwestern Wildcats took care of business last Saturday. Northwestern running back Evan Hall rushed for 216 yards on a pair of touchdowns Saturday afternoon and led Northwestern to a 35-6 rout over Ohio at Ryan Field in Evanston.
Hall regular Ohio, not Ohio State.
Yes, Ohio. Right. Yeah, Ohio of Miami or something like that, right?
It's Ohio.
It's just Ohio. All right. So Hall bounced off a defender at the line of scrimmage late in the first quarter before sprinting away for a 90-yard score that helped the Wildcats, who are now 2-2, earn their first win over a FBS team this season. Fun game to watch. Your local Big Ten team beat up on a crappy little team. I don't think we need to expect that much of them this season, but we're rooting for them. I mean, they're still a Chicago team, so.
Again, Chicago's Big Ten team, you know, Pat Fitzgerald, I think we're all a fan of his and have been for a long time, ever since he played here back in the 90s. But again, this is a team where we kind of keep watching out of the corner of our eye. We're not paying big attention to them, and because we're not Northwestern alumni, you know what I mean?
No.
If you're an alumni, like, you're all over this. Like,
I
Michael
couldn't
Lobon,
afford going there.
Those type of cats. Yeah, man, I could. Look, I got to make sure that I got enough money in my pocket to drive past. Okay, so that's how you know that place is expensive. But guess what? They do have a very big test coming up next week.
Yeah, they faced a Nebraska team that lost to Michigan State on an overtime field goal. So you know they'll be looking for some redemption. So they are going to take it on the Wildcats. Yeah. All right, E, what's going on with the Illini?
They lost. Next.
You notice I said Illini. I didn't say the Fighting Illini.
Because they don't fight, man. They lost to Purdue 13-9 in another stinky game that no one watched. No one who is watching the Fighting Illini right now.
The alumni.
Yeah, I mean, even after the last couple years, we only watching to see how long Lovie Smith's beard was going to get. But that's about it.
That's true.
We ain't watching that dude, man. Look, man, who cares? Honestly, like, I'll mention them. They lost, I guess. All right, next. Well, hey, I'd rather talk about a playoff team. So why don't you tell me what's going on with Candace Parker's Chicago Sky?
The Chicago Sky. They have a weird, the WNBA has a weird playoff system. It's a one and done. You get one game to move on to the next series.
That's the college tournament style right there.
Yeah, yes, yeah, very much so. So they won their first round opponent. They beat the first round opponent. Candace Parker had a double-double, and they beat the Dallas Wings 81-64. They blew the doors off that team. And the thing is that the Sky are a 6th seed, and they were playing, I think, the 3rd seed. They moved on to play the Minnesota Lynx, and won that game 89-76. Parker with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Cooper had 16 points, 4 assists, 10 rebounds. Stevens had 15 points, 8 rebounds. And the Shields had 14 points and 3 rebounds. I mean, they dominated the boards and they scored. And now they will be playing the Connecticut Sun today. Yeah, they'll be today at 8 o'clock. ESPN 2. Yeah, so it'll be a battle of the sun and the sky.
All right, when do the Clouds play? There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, look. Candace Parker, Chicago player, Chicago resident, native, and we saw how her career came out. One of the best players of all time in college, and I'm very glad to have her back in Chicago. There was a void once some of our other superstars left the team, but her back in Chicago, her winning, helping them to win playoff games is huge. I mean, the thing is with the WNBA, some of these players end up playing for 15, 16, 17, 20 years because they're so good versus some of the girls that are coming out of college that they're just that much better. So they have ability to stay around and stay in the league for quite a long time. So I'm hoping that Candace Parker stays here for a long time. I mean, she's been doing a really good job as far as the way that she's been advertising herself. There is a new commercial out right now talking about all her accomplishments, where she has a hoodie on. They're talking about the accomplishments of this player. She's a gold they said they're a gold medalist. They've done this, they've done that, and then at the end you see her take off the hoodie and you're like, damn, it's Candace Parker. So congrats to them moving on in the playoffs, and I'm glad they're out there doing their thing, and I'm glad that she's doing her thing for Chicago.
Yeah, Connecticut is the number 1 seed, and they are the number 6 seed. That'll be Tuesday, which is today at 8 p.m. on ESPN2. Support another Chicago team. This is the semifinals. This is a best of 5 now. So, so this is... no more one and done. Only rounds 1 and 2 are one and done. This is a best of 5. And then on the other side, it looks like you have Vegas and Phoenix. And then, so the winner of these 2 series will play in the final. And that's also best of 5.
Hey, like I said, I'm rooting for them all the way, and I really hope that they can bring a title to the city of Chicago since my baseball team can't do it.
Yeah. On that note, we'll be right back with 3 Up and 3 Down after a word from our sponsor.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
We all know that 2020 was no joke. And with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you'll be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers. Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yeah.
It's time to touch bases with our baseball teams. This is 3 Up and 3 Down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yo, E, what's going on with the Cubbies?
Oh, brother. We got to talk about that?
Yeah, we do. We got to cover all the teams.
That's all you get. The Cubs took on the Cardinals last week, and the Cardinals came in on a heater, which continued at Wrigley Field. The Cardinals' September winning streak has seen a little bit of everything over the past 2+ weeks. Saturday's victory over the Cubs featured a late-inning comeback, a wonky double play, and a place in history. The Cardinals beat the Cubs 8-5 to notch its 15th consecutive victory, setting a new franchise record in the process. The Cardinals trailed 4-2, but scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning to grab the lead for good. Look, I hate the stupid Cardinals, and to top it off, they're doing it with one of our beloved, our former ace of our team, and it just hurts me to see him out there. And this is what I want to say.
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you.
You know, it hurt me when he went to Washington, and now he's on the Cardinals because I think the Washington Nationals also hate the Cubs. So they're like, look, I know you love Lester, so I'm going to throw your guy over there. But check it out. Lester did have a really cool gesture. In what may have been his final game at Wrigley Field, he gave both of his former catchers Rolex watches as a gift. Manager Rossi and the catcher Wilson Contreras were both pretty surprised about the gift, and they shared some hugs on the field. You know, it was funny because I saw Wilson open up that thing and he was like, no. So, I mean, I'm sure he makes enough money to buy his own, but, you know, Lester got that big cheese right now. So, look, I know Cubs fans are still pretty shell-shocked to see their World Series winning favorites donning new uniforms. But like I said before, you know, they're always going to be our guys. You know, we root for them from afar at this point. So, one thing that did come out, there was a report last week from Fansided that indicated the 341 million man Francisco Lindor is wasting no time for a new hire, urging the team to re-sign free agent to be Javi Baez. The report from Murray indicates that Lindor is pushing the Mets to re-sign Baez, and further that Lindor has the ear of owner Steve Cohen and might have enough sway to get Cohen to keep Baez in New York long-term, no matter the cost. And from what I hear, Javi is not opposed to that. He's thinking that he might go over there and he might stay there with his boy Lindor.
I mean, they've always wanted to play together. They're really close. They're really tight. Now, the thing is that that's going to be like $500 million on the infield, and they're really big on striking out. I mean, that's a lot of strikeouts for $500 million.
That's a lot of money for a used air conditioner, bro. Because that
used air conditioner.
I mean, you swing that much. I mean, all you do is blowing the breeze at this point. So look,
oh man,
I love Javi. You know what I mean? Like we just did the event a couple weeks ago at the park over there at Little Cubs Field, and Javi Baez street sign is up there. I think all Cubs fans, realistically, like we hold a special place in our heart for Javi with those, you know, very flashy defensive plays. But you know, a lot of people want him to come back because they're like, bring back this guy. I'm like, you guys want to bring back Bryant, and you want to bring back Rizzo, and you want to bring back Baez, and you want to bring back the whole world, and not realizing that these are the guys that did not get you where you needed to go in the future. You know what I mean? After that series, they had their peak, and then they did not continue what we expected them to do. And we look at a team like the Astros, who the White Sox are gonna, you know, they're gonna be playing. Well, the White Sox have sustained success, and that's something the Cubs did not. And don't forget, the Astros won their World Series 1 year after the Cubs did, and they somehow managed to keep most of their team together, and they're still doing really well.
Yeah, they are. And well, you know, they did cheat, so that's how you win, by cheating.
All right, man. What's going on with the AL Central champion White Sox?
White Sox, White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way.
All right, the Chicago White Sox are your AL Central Division champs. They're in the playoffs. Thank you.
I'm giving it up.
He's got a new toy now, so he's trying to use all the buttons on it now.
A little bit worn in from before.
Yeah. All right, the Chicago White Sox are back-to-back in the playoffs with a 7-2 win over Cleveland last Thursday. The White Sox began the first MLB team to clinch a division title in 2021 and the first division title since 2008. This is the first time in team history that they've gone back-to-back. They've gone to the postseason back-to-back season. So that's wild for a team that was founded in 1894. But there's a first, there's a first time for everything, right? It only took 120 years.
That is such a wild stat. I mean, and it's not like this team has always been bad. I mean, definitely they've had like long stretches of just bad baseball back in the day when they were wearing their little funny collars and their shorts and all that stuff. But holy cow, like how is that possible?
I don't know. I mean, I do remember in 06, they had like 90 something wins and got bounced out of the playoffs. They weren't playoff eligible because I think two teams had like 98 and 100 wins, so they couldn't get in.
I mean, I'll tell you what, we talked about a little bit to start the show off, and I'm geeked for you, man. I'm happy, we're going to be watching White Sox games together when they're in the playoffs. So, at least this is something while we watch these stinky ass Bears, we can, this is my favorite time of year because you got hockey starting up, you got basketball starting up. We're right in the middle of football and baseball playoffs, man. So, I mean, this is my favorite time of year. It's still like
it's always better if
half the day it's cold.
Yeah, it's always better if one of our teams is in it, and it makes it way more exciting because you're like, I spent 6 months watching this team, and they're finally here. So we got some cool news, and this is really, really awesome because the last time they did this, they won their game, the blackout game in 2008. Chief Marketing Officer Brooks Boyer told NBC5, we're going to be asking all of our fans to wear black. We want to have an atmosphere that is going to get our guys really charged up. So it's going to be a blackout at the ballpark all October. Wear black, support your White Sox.
I'm with it, man. Black is a slimming color, so I might have to be a White Sox fan.
This is why our shirts are black.
It is, man. That way, when we do all of our stirring the pot stuff, we we don't have to worry about expanding the shirts. We can keep on with the shirts that we've been wearing.
Yeah, don't put it in a dryer.
That's so true. It's so true.
All right. So one thing that's concerning me is the pitching staff, who is a little banged up, as Carlos Rodon is pretty much hitting a wall right now because last year he had the 60-game season and then he got hurt, and then now you got a whole full season and he's been pitching like a monster, and now lately he's been getting some tired arm and so forth. So he's at 127 innings, which is a lot for him. Let's see. He only logged in 37 and a half in 2019 because he was hurt.
Right.
His last outing, you can see that his fastball was just under 90 degrees. He can hit 100.
But here's the thing: is that he made the All-Star game this year, and I think what's going on is I think the White Sox are really hoping that he has a little bit more left in the tank. He has a very good record at 12-5 and a nice ERA at 2.37. And he's going into his planned last regular season start on Wednesday, but he only lasted 3 innings in his last outing. And
that was by design.
Okay, but I mean, like, you still you want him to be able to ramp it up too. You know what I mean? Because look what happened last year when in that one game, your boy Ricky, the way that he kind of just kept shuffling the cards and shuffling the deck because he couldn't figure out who was actually gonna be able to pitch. So
yeah, it looked like Ricky looked like he was looking for his draw 4. That's what it looked like. It's like, where's my draw 4? Yeah, no. Here's the issue as well, because Dylan Cease also pitched last week, and he got beamed in the back of his arm, elbow. So he's got a bone, not a bone bruise, but he's got a significant bruise on his arm. Lance Lynn just pitched, and he looked like he had some discomfort in his legs. And he was on a DL, an IL as well. So the pitchers are banged up. What's going on really well is that the bats are waking up. When they had to clinch that game, they all came together. Tony gave him a little rah-rah speech, and they went out there, and Tim Anderson showed up with 2 home runs. Lou Bob, Eloy, everyone's hitting. I think they won 7-2 or something like that. But
yeah,
the big deal is that they can turn on the switch, and then they kind of like, now we don't have to have it on. Like, it's like, no, man, put your foot on the gas and let's go. Put your foot on that guy's neck. Let's go. Like, you got to have that killer instinct, because you're going to be playing most likely Houston. Right now, Houston's been hot, so they're about to maybe even supersede the Tampa Bay Rays, because they've got 3 with the Yankees, and they play Houston for the last 6 games or something like that. So Houston has the ability to get that number 1 seed, and then we have to go down to Tampa. And I think that'll be even a tougher series for the White Sox than Houston would be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that the White Sox have had it in the bag for so long that they absolutely took their foot off the gas and they went into cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at their record post All-Star game, it's not very good.
It's 500.
You know what I mean? Like, so you're sitting there they basically, ramped it up and then sat there, like I said, put it in cruise control, and they went 500 the rest of the way. And, one of the things that we talked about before was the fact that really their whole starting lineup from opening day has not played together in forever. Half of the team is gone. You got your second baseman that came over from Cleveland that we talked about him not hitting, but he's very good with the glove. So, one of the most key player to me, honestly, is Tim Anderson, because, like I said, I look at him as the Dexter Fowler of that team. When he goes, they go. So, I mean, like, if he can get on the board, he can get out there and do his thing early, then, Elo is going to follow, and Lulav is going to follow, and Abreu to a certain aspect. And you really, I think the wild card here is going to be someone like Moncada, because I feel like Moncada has been sitting in the shadows. He's been okay, but compared to what these other players have done, he's been sitting in the shadows. Even Yasmani Grandal has actually had a very good season when you look at him as a whole. He's really done a good job of securing the way that staff has been held together, considering the fact that it's such a mix between veterans and young guys that are not only in the starting lineup but in the bullpen, especially with those players that came over at the trade deadline. So I think that right now they really have to make sure that they got all of their affairs in order. And hey, their little subdued celebration in the middle of that doubleheader was perfectly fine with me. Shake hands, wave. Hey, thanks guys, good job. They weren't all crazy. Liam Hendricks acting like a maniac out there. And if I'm not mistaken, Liam Hendricks is leading the league in saves right now.
Yeah. So right now, that team is like you said, it's a little crazy, but at the same time a little bit subdued because you have so many veterans who've actually won. Liam Hendricks, you got Lance Lynn, you got Keuchel, you've got proven guys that have won before. So, I mean, Lance Lynn's a nut because he yells at everything. They did have a little celebration in the locker room, and they came back outside and took a picture.
John Lackey.
Oh, yeah.
Lance Lynn is John Lackey.
Yeah.
And I said that, 6 months ago. Lance Lynn is John Lackey, and that's why I keep telling you. And if you don't, look, we talk about the toys that I have. How about this one?
Thanks, Cubs.
Because we laid it out for you. We gave you the play. Hey, you got Dylan Cease, right? You got Eloy, and Quintana's not here anymore. I don't even know where he's playing. He's in like Toronto or somewhere else that no one cares about. So, hey, I'm happy for you guys. I'm excited to see what this postseason is going to be. But they really got to watch their ass. And one thing I did actually see was that the White Sox are doing their advanced scouting and have been attending.
Oh, yeah.
Because they assume that they're going to play the Astros.
Right.
And they've been attending Astros games.
Of course, to check and see if they're cheating.
Check for the garbage cans and make sure there's no cans being made. I'm not even joking about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real thing, a real thing that's happening right now. So, I mean, it might be better if you had to play the Rays instead of the Astros.
No, man. That Nelson Cruz kills us. They have a dirty pitching staff. They play good defense. I'm scared of them.
I'm going to tell you about Nelson Cruz was the sneakiest free ARR deadline trade in all of baseball. Because I feel like even when they're good, the Rays are so under the radar with their team. Like, you couldn't even name 5 guys in that team most of the time. And they play in a complete and total shitbox.
They do. I've been there.
Embarrassing what kind of stadium and what condition that place is in.
And they don't even sell out. They don't sell out for their playoff tickets.
It's embarrassing. It is terrible. And I mean, I hope they get moved to like Montreal or some other team that actually, or some other city that actually cares about sports, because that ain't it, man. I look, it's gonna be a tough road for the White Sox, no matter who they have to play. But hopefully I hope La Russa got one more in him, because, bro, whenever I hear him talk, man, I can't imagine this man filing anyone up.
No, he did the post game for the when they clinched, and that was like the most awake he's been all year. He was actually like, I'm pretty sure they like gave him an IV of caffeine just to wake him up.
Because every time he steps on the field, he's halfway into a bottle of Merlot. What are you talking about? This man, look, he's not allowed to drive, is he?
No,
he's
not allowed to drive. It's cataracts. He has cataracts.
He got drunkenness. That's what he's just sitting there. He's like, oh, that was really exciting.
Hey, did you like my Star Wars reference?
Yeah, I saw that. That was good, man. Oh, man.
I knew you would like that.
Especially with the hood over there. Oh, my gosh. I was waiting for him to wave his arm and Darth Vader to appear. But, hey, they do wear all black, especially going into October, so maybe that's what they're going for there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good time. If you haven't been to the stadium, they have one last series with, I believe, Cincinnati. So go ahead and check out. That's the Jose MVP Abreu, Mr. Pito. Yeah, his batting MVP title bobblehead. So if someone's going, can you please snatch one up for me? Because I can't go.
We need him in the studio, yo. What's up? Hook us up. Send us all your stuff. That's what we ask. It's just you got stuff, send it here. Because as it was said earlier, I'm a collector. Because
you are a collector. All right, let's take a pause for the cause and hear a word from our sponsors.
Oh, well, there's strikes 2 and 3 right there.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you will be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Oh, yeah.
It's that time again, brother. You know what time it is, man.
Uh-oh.
It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, man.
All right, man. Check it out. So we know that there's been a weird thing that's been going on in Chicago lately. The strike at the El Milagro Tortilla Factory, man. So what's happening with that is that they're saying that they're not getting fair wages. They're just not getting what they deserve as workers. So as a result, there has been a shortage of tortillas in Chicago, specifically all over the place. Normally, a pack of tortillas is 49 cents. So you just sit there and, shove our faces, whatever we put on a tortilla. And look, I've seen dudes put cereal on tortillas. That's how much I love them, okay? That's what it is. But check it out. I just found on eBay.
Oh, no.
No, this is not eBay. This is Amazon.
Amazon.
So,
yes.
On Amazon, there is a 10-ounce pack of 16 El Milagro corn tortillas for $1,300.
Were these made with gold? Because
$1,300. So the question is, Would you pay $1,300 for tortillas?
No, sir. No, sir.
No one would. I'm sorry.
Nobody.
I'm sorry.
You might get out your damn mind to do that.
No one is ever going to do that. I mean, it's insane. It's completely insane. I don't know. What is the most you would pay for a pack, though? If it was normally 50 cents, it's normally 49 cents. How much would you pay for a pack?
If I needed it, probably, $2-3. I don't know. I mean, if you're...
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I
think that's fair.
I understand why, they were working. There was already a shortage because a lot of the workers were catching COVID. And then some of those workers were not saying they had COVID, so they were going to work and giving other people COVID. So that's part of the issue right there. If you're not getting paid enough or you can't afford not to go to work, then you got to do what you got to do. And unfortunately, it affects everybody there. And this is where we're at with that. So
the thing is that factories all over the place are experiencing not only shortages in workers, but shortages. Worker shortages because of wages. There's places, especially like factory workers, where they're going to pay me $1 more. Well, I'm walking out. You know what I mean? So that's a real tricky thing right there because your quality control goes downhill when you have to keep replacing your workers.
Yes, it does. That's
a big key right there. But yeah, I would say I think I'm with you. I'd say about $2 for a pack is as much as I would pay. I mean, half the time I'm over here, I'm getting the low carb, carb friendly tortillas anyway. The flour ones. But if I'm eating real tacos, you know what I mean. I gotta have the corn and I gotta have El Milagro. So that's the big difference there. But
you can also get El Popo as a close second.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's options out there, but it's just like any. You remember when Twinkies, they stopped making Twinkies for a while, and people were selling. Yeah, they were selling Twinkies like crazy. Like we're on the what was it, the zombie movie, Zombieland? We're searching for Twinkies everywhere. So, look, man. Speaking of movies, before we go, what you looking at? What are you watching that isn't sports?
So I totally forgot that I have not watched.
You didn't watch Clickbait?
Not yet.
What?
Yeah.
No, I told you if you didn't watch it, I told you I'd give you a week and then I was going to spoil it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. It was a busy week. I had to, yesterday I had time. I literally was able to sit on the couch and do nothing. And I realized that I didn't watch the last 3 weeks of Titans and then realized that Doom Patrol started 3 weeks ago. And I watched those 3 episodes. So I caught up on DC.
You pulled an Eddie where you started watching a show and then, I'll get back to it later. And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a second. No, I can't do that. So, yeah, I finished. I'm caught up on that.
You couldn't finish watching the show. Because, I mean, the thing is that, it's at a certain point you get stale and then, like, all of a sudden you start, like, coming across spoilers accidentally and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a couple more days to watch Clickbait because I want to talk about it on the air.
Gotcha.
But I don't want to spoil it for you.
How many episodes is it? 10?
No, like 8 maybe. It's a regular. It's a regular like little short series or whatever.
Series.
But,
gotcha.
Take care of your shit. Get on your shit.
What you watching?
I watched on Netflix again a show that is the #1 show on Netflix right now, and it is called Squid Game. This is a Korean show. You got to put on the English sub so you can understand what the hell's going on. This is one of the most bizarre shows I've ever seen. It is gory. It is violent. It is weird. It's a little drawn out at times. It's kind of confusing. I don't watch Korean TV, so I don't know if this is something kind of their thing. But holy shit. If you wanted to know how much your life is worth, watch this show. I mean, it was incredible. Probably don't watch it with your kids like we did because
oh boy,
my daughter was like, can we watch this? And she likes anime and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, one thing I actually did this last week was I picked up an entire box of VHS tapes, sir. And for $5, it was a big old box. And really the only reason I bought it is because they had a VHS of Pulp Fiction, which is my favorite movie in there. But it also had Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and a few other classics. So I wasn't mad about that purchase. My wife, on the other hand, is like, what are you doing with that big ass box of VHS?
She's like, you could have spent that money on tortillas.
Yeah. I could have spent it on 2 whole packs of tortillas. Yes. But I'm like, look, I'm a collector. You knew this was going to happen, like we established earlier. Not no Pokemon, but old VHS tapes, and now I just need a VCR because, that's how that's going to go. But, yeah. You really didn't watch nothing?
Yeah, I just caught up on my shows. I didn't even watch my Chicago shows yet. I still have those to watch.
Those are bad.
No,
those are bad. They're so corny. They're so bad. I can't with you, man.
My favorite is the PD.
It's all terrible. I'm sorry for the actors in the show, but it's like it's the corny NBC drama, and I just can't do it.
Hey, Law and Order's been kind of like 20 years, right?
Yep. That's how I think about that. So on that note. Let's get out of here. That is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at checkout for 15% off of your entire order. That's TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts right now. And don't forget to visit our new friends over at ACSI.Tech and check out their career section to start an exciting new career in the communications industry. Go to ACSI.Tech. That's ACSI.Tech and click on careers to apply today. Shout out to our friends at the Some of This and Some of That podcast. New episodes available now on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to check out the Shy Native Radio podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideal, Throw MC in Words, talk about sports, movies, and all types of ill shit. Go check them out. And don't forget, coming up soon, the All Net podcast with Mike Logic and Ideal coming back because we are about to go into the NBA season, so you get to hear about his love for the Lakers and all that mess, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, shout out to Rodesh and shout out to Panic for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for all your Moment merch and gear. And don't forget to check us out on social media. You can find us at True Shy Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and reach out to us on our email, our DMs. We want to hear from you guys with your Stirring the Pot, your movie recommendations, and of course, what you think about the show. You can always hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. And don't forget, for the football season, the Chicago Bears post-game show from the True Chicago Sports Fan podcast is going to be available every Monday after a Bears game on a Sunday. And you can also watch us live on Facebook, interact with us, and talk all types of shit about what Matt Nagy is doing to this team. All right, y'all. For Big Z, this is E-Rock. We'll see you next week for episode 65. Until then, be good to each other.
For the love of sports.
This is not how we wanted it to go. You almost can't even make it up. It's that bad.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth. Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos.
Show's over, show's over, show's over.